Hi everybody, hope all is well. I just want to share with you a quick thought on this week's Parsha, this week's Torah portion, Emor. So what's talked about in this week's Parsha is all the different laws that we had for the Kohanim, the priests who served in the temple and in the Mishkan. And there's one interesting set of laws which is sort of hard to comprehend, which is that a Kohen could not serve in the temple if he had what we call a mum, any sort of blemish, like a broken arm, for example. And this is sort of hard for me to understand, what is spiritually worse about somebody who has a broken arm? How come they can't serve in the temple if other people can serve in the temple? And this is something which is hard to comprehend, but I want to give you a little bit of a parable which might help you understand it. Imagine if you were driving on the highway and you saw a car, instead of facing the way of the road, was instead head first facing into the guardrail on the side of the road. And you saw the guy with his car up against the guardrail, revving his engine and screaming, "Come on, let's go forward. How come I can't move forward?" You would start laughing. You'd feel bad for the person, but you'd realize, that there's something wrong with this person. Maybe they're drunk or something. But the fact that they're trying to go forward obviously is not going to work. And the reason that they can't go forward is because the guardrail is there, because forward is the wrong way. That's why there's a guardrail. And this is simple for us to understand, but life is a little more complicated than that. And sometimes we sort of do the same thing in life, because you see, life is not just about us being good people as opposed to not good people. It is about that, but it's a little more detailed than that. It's not just about us making the right choices, but in a certain sense, God put us here with a mission. Now, that doesn't mean we all have to be Superman and wear capes, but it does mean that each of us have a role in life of what we're supposed to be doing to better this world. It's not just to do good things, but we each have a unique role in what we're supposed to be doing. You could call this our purpose or our mission in life. And oftentimes, there are things which get in the way of our life. We want to do X, Y, and Z, but we can't, either because we're physically impaired, or because we just can't do it, or because the situation in our life gets in the way. And that can be very frustrating for us, and we can get very angry. But in a certain sense, when we're standing there frustrated about something we can't do because it's impossible for us to do, we're like the guy who's facing the guardrail and upset that the guardrail is in his way. The only reason the guardrail is in his way is because he's going the wrong way. And sometimes in life, the only reason that certain things are in our way is because we're going the wrong way. Now, just as a quick side note, this doesn't mean that if something is challenging, we should give up. Oftentimes, the things that are most important are a unique challenge, and they're extremely difficult to do. But I'm talking about something which is actually impossible because of our personal limitations or because of the situation in life that we find ourselves in. And those things may seem frustrating, but in essence, they're really a great gift from God. Because what God is doing is saying, you see this thing that you think you're supposed to do? I'm going to make it impossible. And for you, this is your way of knowing this isn't what you're supposed to be doing in life. When we think about this Kohen who lived in the times of the temple and had a broken arm, he can be very frustrated about the fact that he can't do the service in the temple. But his job in life clearly is not to do the service in temple, and that's why God gave him a broken arm. And this is something which is very important to apply to our lives. Again, not to give up when things are difficult. Things may seem hard. We still need to persevere and go through with them. But there are many things in our lives which we want to accomplish, but we're limited either because we have a personal limitation or because the situation in our life at the time limits us from doing that thing. That can be very frustrating. We can get very angry. But really, those things are a gift from God, because really that's God's way of letting us know that this is not what we're supposed to be doing with our life, and our mission and our purpose is meant to be aimed elsewhere. Have a great Shabbos.